This is the plaintiff, Jimmy Davidson. He says he and the defendant worked together, and the woman had the nerve to sideswipe his car in a parking lot and then take off. When he confronted her the next week, she denied hitting his car. He has photographic evidence, and this louse needs to own up to her blunder and pay him the $605 it's going to cost him to repair his car. This is the defendant, Sheila Bergman. She says the kooky plaintiff approached her claiming she hit his car 2 weeks prior and scratched it. Why in the world would someone wait 2 weeks if he saw her hit his car? She categorically denies any mishaps in the parking lot. The plaintiff is grasping at straws, and she doesn't owe him a penny. She's accused of denting a co-worker relationship.
All parties, please use your right hand. Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant sideswiped his car and then took off. But the defendant says he confronted her 2 weeks after the phantom incident. It's the case of you swiped right and bolted.
Thank you, Douglas. Jimmy Davidson, you are suing Sheila Bergman for $605 to repair your car because according to you, she sideswiped you.
Yes, she did.
What happened?
Well, I need to give you a little background. We both worked at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts as volunteers.
Okay.
So as part of that, we park on the top floor of the Broward Center parking lot. This particular run was a sold out, completely sold out.
What was playing?
Hamilton.
Of course. Of course.
All showings were completely sold out.
And according to you, you parked it next to her car?
Yes.
Now, you don't know her, so you don't know that's the car she drives.
Don't know. I didn't know her at
now,
all.
your car is parked facing in, and her car, according to you, is parked facing out.
That's correct.
All right, and then what happens?
Okay, it was a little chilly that night.
It's never chilly in Broward.
Yeah, it was.
It's just not. Don't tell a bunch of New Yorkers in the room that it's chilly in Fort Lauderdale. Sorry.
Normally, I stand out and wait for the majority of the patrons to leave. But this night, it was a little chilly, so I decided to sit in my car and wait. And I have a couple of little models here.
Can you? Yeah, go ahead. You have models? Of course. I'm not going to let you go home without using your models. I never do that.
Okay, let's say this is her car.
Okay.
I'm sorry about the windshield. It broke off.
Okay. She's driving a convertible. Okay.
Yeah, she was backed in, and I was pulled in, and the traffic is lined up here because this is the exit going down the ramp. Okay, so all of a sudden, there was a little gap in the traffic, and she pulls out, and she scrapes my back bumper with her quarter panel, I guess they call it, hits with her wheel and then her back bumper and goes out. She gets in the traffic.
She gets in the traffic.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, and I turn around and I see her license tag. See, I'm sitting in my car.
I'm sorry. Okay. You're trying to memorize her license tag instead of walking out of your car and stopping her?
Well, I can see it because she's about at this position.
Is her car stopped?
Yeah, it's a come and go. It's start and stop parking.
Okay. Do you get out of your car?
Yes, I eventually get out of my car.
No. Do you walk up to her and say, "You just hit my car, lady"?
No, she's gone by then.
It's Hamilton. You just told me cars were backed up to that point.
But they had started to move at this point.
Do you call the police?
No, I didn't.
Did you go inside and tell the theater personnel that there's just been an accident in their parking lot?
No, I did not.
According to you, 2 weeks later, tell me what happens.
I will amend that 1 week ago.
It was 1 week ago.
I don't know him and I don't recognize him. He comes over and tells me that I hit his car. And I said, what are you talking about? He said he's going to get an estimate and I should give him cash. I have no knowledge of such a thing happening.
Did you hit him?
No, I never hit him.
Do you remember leaving on Thursday, the week before?
Yes.
Okay. And were you in stop-and-go traffic getting out of the garage?
Always. It's stop-and-go traffic at the end of a major show.
So what did you say to him?
So this dude waits a week before he says there was a hit and run, points the finger at her. Is a week too long?
Yeah, definitely.
What's the appropriate amount of time?
I think you do it within a day. I mean.
Okay, you're gonna get the last word.
I don't think it is if you have a witness.
Well, that's true, but you don't have a witness here. I know. That's the problem, going inside the courtroom.
I said I did not hit him. I don't know what he's talking about. He said, come, I'll show you my car. I love my car. And he shows me these scrapes on his car, and I don't have any scrapes on my car. And my car is red, and I don't see any red paint on his scrapes.
Okay. Do you have pictures of
Yes.
the damage to your car?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
That's the picture I made the night of the accident when I got home.
Oh, that's your car?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Is
that's
this
a
her car?
picture of her car.
Is that your car?
That's my car with a lot of dirt on it. There's no scrapes on my car. In
That's-
fact, I have subsequent
That's
pictures.
the back of the wheel.
I don't have, I have a picture of my car from the same, when he showed me his car, I took a picture of
Well, no,
his
that's
car and
damage
of
to your
mine.
car
Yeah.
right there. That right there is damage to your car.
Yeah.
You see that? That's not damage?
I think it's dirt.
See, this looks like damage because I think I'm seeing silver. It doesn't look like dirt. And when you said there, what is this here?
Oh, she said that she couldn't see any red paint on my car, and so that's definitely red paint.
And when was that taken? I never saw that.
That was taken, was a week afterwards.
What's this? You with a measuring tape by her car?
Yeah, I was trying to see.
Is that dirt too on the, because that looks like damage. It lines up with the damage on the first part of the wheel.
I think it's a reflection of light, to tell
No,
you the
this is a reflection of light. This.
Yes.
Right. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at this,
truth. Well, to me,
where the
that-
paint is scraped.
But it wasn't. It was dirt. In fact, I said it was dirt when he pointed it out to me. This is a week later, and my car had one car wash and nothing else, and you can see the car today.
Why don't you, when someone has just hit you and their car is stopped right there, why don't you walk over there and talk to them? You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried that you don't know who hit you. Then one day you report to work, and then you go all over the parking lot to see who has damage that might have been the one who hits you, and then you find damage on her car, and then you say she's the one who did it, because that's the only way you can win is if you say she's the one who did it, and I was in there when it happened. But you have zero explanation for why you do not get out of your car and say, hey, lady, you just hit my car. Call the police right at that moment because it's a hit and run. You know, you do nothing. You don't act like a guy who saw it. And you are telling me I have zero damage to my car, and I'm looking at stuff that doesn't look like dirt. It looks like damage.
There is no damage.
You both look so harmless otherwise. And then this is happening. How was it you noted the license plate?
Okay, I memorized it. It's the first first three digits have pertained to the state that I grew up in.
And then the last ones?
It pertains to the year that I graduated.
Okay, now, but before you went through all those machinations in your head, why didn't you just get out of the car and say, hey, lady, you hit my car?
Well,
What have you got there for me?
I have a video of my car taken yesterday morning, after several weeks after a car wash.
So this case is so strange because I've got two very conflicting stories. I've got this side saying something that boggles the imagination. That you're sitting in a car, someone sideswipes you, and you do nothing. So when I see that, I see somebody who's lying to me, who didn't sit in the car when they got sideswiped, who is looking for another car with damage and concludes from the damage that it had to be her. And that would end the case. Except for then on this side, I've got somebody who's looking me right in the eye and saying there was never damage to your car. And I gotta ask myself, who am I gonna believe? You were my lying eyes. Because I'm looking at steel. I know what damage looks like. This is damage, which tells me that I have someone on that side covering something up. So when did you take these pictures?
the Thursday would be the 14th.
So when she and you go out there, do you point out the scrapes on her car?
Yes.
And what does she say?
Well, first of all, I showed her my car. And
Yeah, I know,
she's-
and I don't
okay.
care what happened then. I care what happened when you pointed out the scrapes to her car. Because see, even if I think that he's lying and he didn't feel you hit him, then the only reason to pin it on you are the scrapes on your car. Otherwise, there's no reason to think you did it. And he just, I don't like how she dresses. Okay, so what does she say when you point out the scrape on her car?
I don't recall.
That's just like you. Seeing as this is a civil case and the standard in this case is by a preponderance of the evidence, which means more likely than not, based on that, I find in favor of the plaintiff, and I'm ruling against you on the $605.
Well, Ms. Bergman, what do you think? The judge just found against you.
The judge found against me. I didn't have a chance to disagree. I never saw my car look like that, and I'm wondering if it was staged.
Well, the preponderance of the evidence convinced the judge that you did it. So
Apparently.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
You're guilty, okay?
No, I don't feel guilty
All right,
because
well,
I'm not.
thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Davidson. I can't believe you don't recall what she said to you at that time. That really is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Why? You really don't recall?
I really don't recall, no.
Holy
I
mackerel.
pointed out and I said, there, to see the damage. And I don't remember, I don't think she even responded, to tell you the truth.
Well, you're lucky.
Yeah, I won by the
Scales
skin
of justice,
skin
you
of
won.
my teeth, I think.
By the skin of your teeth.
yeah. I should have
She can't
called
understand why you didn't go out and say something to her right at that moment.
I should have called the police.
Or you should have gone over and talked to her.
Actually, she was driving faster than I indicated in there, away from the parking lot. So she was all the way down by the time I got out of my little car, which is not an easy thing to do.
Well, good luck to you. Congratulations.
Thank
You're a
you
lucky
very much.
guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Thank
Very
you.
good. Okay.
I mean, the principle, Doug, is simple. If someone does you damage or dirty, the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to prove your case.